Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, according to Luke chapter 6, beginning at the 39th verse. Jesus told his disciples a parable. Can a blind person guide a blind person? Will not both fall into a pit? No disciple is superior to the teacher, but when fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own? How can you say to your brother, "Brother, let me remove that splinter in your eye," when you do not even notice the wooden beam in your own eye? You hypocrite, remove the wooden beam from your eye first. Then you will see clearly to remove the splinter in your brother's eye. In the Gospel reading, Jesus calls on us to be more attentive to the plank in our own eye than to the splinter in our neighbor's eye. It is a humorous image. Jesus is reminding us that we all have our blind spots. We all have something that blocks our vision. We do not see clearly. The conclusion he draws from that is that we should be slow to criticize or to judge others. In the first reading today in the lectionary, St. Paul looks back on his life, on the time he was a persecutor of the church. He says, "I used to be a blasphemer and did all I could to injure and discredit the faith." In retrospect, he can see clearly the plank that was in his eye back then, even though at the time he couldn't see it. He was judging the followers of Jesus, trying to take the splinter out of their eye, while all the time blind to the plank in his own eye. It took that moment of grace on the road to Damascus to open his eyes to his own level of blindness. "Mercy was shown to me," he says. It was ultimately the Lord who took the plank out of his eye and healed his blindness. It is the Lord who heals our blindness too. He wants to show us mercy as he showed mercy to Paul. For that to happen, we need to come before him acknowledging our blindness, or at least asking for the grace to see our blindness. It is only in opening ourselves in this way to the Lord's healing and merciful presence that we can begin to see others clearly.